Well, it happens. It does. Whether it is storm, whether it is blizzard, whether it is hurricane, whether it's just a power outage from a downed line in your area, major storms can make us really susceptible to being hungry, to not having what we need. And today we are working with our friends at Wise and the American Red Cross to make sure you are as prepared for a natural disaster, that you are as covered as possible, whether you are trapped in your home, whether you have no power, whether you have no electricity. We want to make sure first and foremost that you are fed. Now, for you, it might be a blizzard. For you, it might be a mudslide. For you, it might be a hurricane or a storm. It also might be you live alone, you're single, and one day you get sick. It might be your teenage child gets sick and you don't want them in your kitchen, and you need to be able to feed absolutely everybody. Whether it's for a day, whether it's for a week, or whether it's for an entire month, Wise is the company that we count on for phenomenal flavors, totally edible meals that last up to 25 years in our rescue bucket. That's why we have sold over 200,000 emergency meal kits since its launch back in April of 2014. That means close to 250,000 people have known that they will be nourished, well fed. They'll have beverages, they'll have breakfast, they'll have lunch, they'll have dinner over and over and over again by buying a bucket that will last them 25 years unopened. Now today, it's the best we've ever done. It's the most entrees, it's the most servings, it's the best value we have ever put together before. If you went to Wise directly, and thousands of customers do every single year, this kit today would cost $400. Not $300, not $200. Today, you get $400 worth of Wise Foods products for $99.95. You get more entrees than we've ever done. You get more servings than we've ever done. Just to break this down for you before we start eating, because it is delicious meals prepared by chefs, 30 days is how long one person could survive on the bucket that you get today. An entire month of food for one person. You and a spouse, just two of you, 15 days, 2 full weeks plus of food, of beverages, of breakfasts, of lunches, and of dinners. If you're a family of 4, we're talking over a week's supply. So if you are without power, if you are without ability to get in the car and go to the grocery store, this truly is your solution. And for so many of you, it's about so much more than those natural disasters. Everything is here for you today. It is a day to put something into your emergency preparedness kit, to put something into the garage, to put something into the pantry that is going to be there for you in the worst of circumstances. I hope at the end of the day, and I think Stephanie would agree, that you go to this because you're lazy one night, you go to this because you're tired one night, you go to this because you don't want your husband going anywhere near the stove and you're going out for the night one night, and you discover how delicious it tastes and then you start using it at will. I hope you never have to go to this. But when you do, we're talking about the real basic survival human needs, and nobody makes it more affordable or more edible or more delicious than Wise does.
Absolutely, and it is how delicious it is that is so important for you to understand, because I agree with Brett. This will be there whenever you need it and should you need it, which obviously we hope you never do. However, it's the taste that makes you want to have it. So I'm handing over teriyaki rice to Brett and showing you how Wise makes gourmet entrees. Would you know that didn't come from your favorite restaurant?
The vegetables like crunched.
Absolutely.
The flavor was real. It's not like too salty. It doesn't have that chalky consistency to it.
Yeah, I was going to say texture is the big thing everyone's nervous about.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
I keep eating,
And that's the point, because this is food that tastes like it's supposed to. Teriyaki rice with consistency and flavor. Cheesy lasagna, brand new to HSN and one of Wise's most popular entrees, so I'm thrilled we're offering it. Again, the taste you expect. What makes Wise different than any other type of emergency or preparedness food out there is taste. Wise uses chefs to put together these recipes, and as a result, the taste is there. The spicing, the consistency. There's nothing worse than food when the texture is screwed up. So Wise has figured out how to keep it exactly as you would expect it to be. However, what separates Wise even more is the technology in the packages. This product is dehydrated and packaged in what's called a modified atmospheric package. What does that mean? That means the pouch that the food comes in seals out humidity. seals out oxygen. Those are things that makes food go bad. This pouch keeps all that out so that every one of these recipes, every one of these great tasting entrees will be there for you whenever you need it, should you be sick, should you be in a storm situation, for up to 25 years.
You know, the bottom line is they do happen. We had Hurricane Irma, we had Hurricane Maria, there's mudslides going on in California. These are your basic essentials. These are life-saving products, and yet still they take this job very, very seriously over at Wise. They partner with the American Red Cross. They put all the nutritional information on every single meal that you're gonna eat right here. They are not pulling any punches. There are no fillers in these products. These are real deal ingredients, real deal high quality meals that, yes, you can make hot, because, you know, they're tasty hot if you're not feeling well, if your husband's not feeling great, if you don't have access to a stove, if you're camping. This is the best food you'll ever serve camping that you've ever served before. But make no mistake, cold water, they work.
Absolutely.
Cold water, they taste fine. They will keep you nourished. They have good flavors to them. Why wouldn't you want to know that you, your children, your grandchildren, my goodness, help out the next door neighbors, help out the single man or woman living down the street alone? Why not have a 158 serving bucket of high quality real food that has, get this, not filler. We're talking 92 entrees, 92 main course dishes. And then because we don't want you to suffer, 2 dozen desserts, 42 beverages, enough for one person to eat for an entire month, and none of it will ever get wasted because it is a 25-year shelf life. So we've sold almost 250,000 here at HSN since April 2014. Not one of those pouches has gone to waste.
Nope.
The first person who bought the first bucket we ever offered at HSN still doesn't even have to think about waste with what they purchase.
Exactly. Your kids will be out of high school, even if they're not born yet, and you will still be able to provide them with great food and sustenance. I love the value. 158 servings, $99.95. Do a little quick math. We are talking 63 cents a serving for cheesy lasagna. I can't buy the ingredients to make lasagna for that kind of value. And oh, by the way, if you've made lasagna, it's a fair amount of effort. So I love the fact that we do mention it's Friday afternoon. You may not be feeling like making dinner. You've worked all week. You're ready for a break. Guess what? If this is in your kitchen arsenal, you pull it out and out comes cheesy lasagna for dinner.
And you know what? Cheesy lasagna versus frozen pizza. I'd take cheesy lasagna any day of the week. Teriyaki rice over frozen nuggets. Listen, if I could, I would rewrite that graphic to say survival college kit.
Exactly.
Right?
What a great use for this, though. Seriously.
Send it to somebody in a dorm room. Send it to somebody's first apartment. Studio apartments that have the little kitchenettes. You know, somebody who's living in assisted living and occasionally doesn't want to eat socially with everybody else, who has access to a hot plate. These are warm meals. This is 158 servings, less than $1 a serving. And thousands of you buy directly from Wise Foods. You'll spend $400 to get what we give you today. Hands down, bar none, no questions about it. You will spend $400 to get what we sell to you today for $20. That's it. Take it home, try 1 or 2 of the dishes. If you're not impressed, if you don't love it, we'll take the whole thing back. You get a 25-year shelf life guarantee. You get real deal meals, real deal ingredients, real deal recipes. And call us, by the way. If you've had to use your kit, if you had to pop open and into it because of a mudslide, because of Hurricane Irma or Maria or whoever's coming next our way, we want to hear from you to talk about flavor, and we want to hear about what it's saved you and your family. Cost per serving, there's no question about it, but when it comes down to it, this is a life-saving product that you spend $20 to get home and own.
We're doing this for preparedness. We're doing events like today because we want you to have this in your kit. But let's talk about the new flavor. That's cheesy lasagna.
And listen, there's a lot of like frozen lasagnas. There's a lot of canned, you know, chef products that are, this is better. And it's less expensive. Chef B's little cans are 5 times this price.
And full of things that I can't even name.
Exactly.
So we've solved that problem.
And you're eating better food. This is good.
I love that one. The quality is there. You can see why. You can see why it is a favorite. You are going to be talking for a few minutes now. I'm going to jump in for that one. Brett did mention something that I really, really appreciate, though, when we are talking about preparedness and just being ready for the unexpected. What is in your pantry? How did 2017 surprise surprise you. Because if you were not in an area that was impacted, I'm so glad you weren't, but we all saw that footage, whether it was Texas, whether it was California, whether it were the Caribbean islands, whether it was Florida, whether it was snow in North Carolina last week. Boy, they're not used to that. It has been a crazy 12-month cycle, and just a reminder that that's kind of normal, right? In uncertainty, whether it is with the weather, whether it is political, gosh, today it's been financial, you know, the markets are a little crazy. So that just shows you, in general, we don't know what's going to happen next in life in general. But there's one thing we do know: you need to eat.
Yes.
You want it to taste great. You want it to be a good value. You want to have it when you need it. So this checks all of that off the list. And oh, by the way, you can make it with just water, and it doesn't even have to be hot water.
And you may have just seen a little spot there of oatmeal. That was brand new. We've never done it. It's actually organic oatmeal that's included in your purchase today. And look at this. Even in the pouch, you know, if you're somebody that goes camping, that goes hiking or biking, again, for the college kids in the dorm rooms, this is what is the sustenance that they need in their lives. Now, what you're seeing them hide under the box there, that's not nearly what you're getting today. Today, with the bucket, with the sealed pouches, with the modified atmosphere packaging, you are buying a 25-year guaranteed product for $20 on your credit card. We've slashed the shipping and handling for anybody who wants to order a second, a third, or fourth. Ship one off to the kids in college. Ship one off to the senior citizen who's living alone and may be recovering or may be ill one night and can't make it out and doesn't have anybody else to help them through it. Let's go to the phones. Now, Tammy is calling us from Colorado, where I would imagine one surprise storm may sock her in for days, weeks at a time. Tammy, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I think this is a wonderful, wonderful idea. We had a major storm
you did.
in '97.
Oh, yeah.
And we couldn't go anywhere.
And the
it was
grocery
like,
stores are bare.
about 3 foot of snow. And so this is just, I just can't tell you enough how this is going to be a lifesaver in case of an emergency.
Well,
And I like the fact that it lasts 25 years.
right? You'll never throw a single thing away. And you know what's exciting, Tammy? You know the cans that you buy in an emergency situation? They are kept fresh with salt and preservatives. This is kept fresh by the way that it's packaged. There's no crazy additives. There's no added chemicals. And quite frankly, Tammy, you might just realize it's snowing in Colorado and you don't want to fight the cold weather to go to the grocery store and have one of these as a meal just on one of those nights.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes. I think this is incredible.
Well, for less than $1 a meal, why not? Tammy, thank you so much for your call. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
It is our pleasure.
Thanks, Tammy.
So thank you so much. Okay, so to break that all down again, less than $1 a serving. No added sodiums, no added preservatives, none of the junk that they put in the cans, and a cheap can of food is $2, $3, $4. This is a fraction of that price. It takes up a fraction of that space, and it's great ingredients. Every home in America should have one of these. Anybody, you know, once upon a time we'd say, oh, people in California, they don't have to worry about it. They don't have, you know, snow. They don't have, well, they have earthquakes.
They have different problems.
They have mudslides.
What is the saying? Everybody's got something?
Or they got the traffic on the 405. I mean, anything keeps them in. This truly is a phenomenal solution for your emergencies. But if you do go camping, if you do have kids in college, if you don't feel well one night, you're eating better than canned food. You're eating real ingredients, no added junk or funk inside of it. And what you buy today has a 25-year guarantee on it.
And here's what I like about the fact that this is a customer pick. So that tells me that our customers are bringing it home and giving it a try. It is a customer pick because they have tried it and liked it. And that is certainly what I encourage you to do. 158 servings, take a pouch out and make it for dinner. I like to suggest a fun little game, right? Don't tell anybody that it's emergency food. Just go ahead and whip up some creamy vegetable rotini. I mean, that's a normal dinner dish, right?
Yep.
No one would be any the wiser, haha, no pun intended, if you put that on the table.
Do you have to put a blindfold on me to do the blind test? Or
no, I'm going to let you kind of know what you're getting into because you're doing it willingly, and I love that.
Texture's great.
Yep.
Sauce is nice and smooth. Nothing chalky, nothing funky. It's delicious.
And that's why it's a customer pick, because people are giving it a try and thinking, you know what? That's good food.
Yeah.
That is good food that I don't have to cook. All I do is add water. If you are tuning in and you see that our pots are sitting on burners, that's just because it goes a little quicker when the water is warm.
And it tastes a little better. We'd all prefer warm food.
We all prefer a hot meal. We would all like a hot meal. But in an emergency, if I dump creamy vegetable rotini into cold water, I am going to get creamy vegetable rotini. The texture does not change. The flavor does not change. The only thing that changes is the temperature.
So you know what? Let's talk about all the different dishes you're going to get. There's ethnic flavors here. There's pastas. There's proteins. I mean, let's walk you through. Stephanie, will you take us on a tour of our menu that we get?
Absolutely, and we'll be able to throw in some of the examples that you see in front of me too. So when you get your 158 servings home, you are getting 10 lunch and dinner entrees, and that includes things like cheesy mac. Let's keep the kids happy. Creamy pasta and vegetable rotini, the pasta alfredo, the tortilla soup, the chicken soup, the tomato basil soup, Southwest rice and beans, white rice, teriyaki rice, the cheesy lasagna that's brand new, the stroganoff, the apple cinnamon cereal. These are the 3 breakfast entrees, the organic oatmeal, the brown sugar maple cereal, 3 pitchers of whey milk, and that is new. We've increased the amount of milk because we heard from you that milk's really important to your family. The kids really need it. You've used it in an emergency and it made the kids so happy to have it. So we put even more in, and then, you know, you gotta have a little dessert. Yogurt's a good protein, and vanilla pudding just makes us happy.
And listen, you know, milk, I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I mean, we dodged town when it came time for Irma, but you know, evacuation zones, getting stuck inside, I would need it. It wouldn't be negotiable.
And it's a comfort too, regardless of whether or not they need it.
Okay, so I do want to let everybody know about something. As you saw that menu of choices, if there's something more that you would like to add to your order, we have these additional kits that are available for only $50. So they're all $10 off the price today. Your savings more than buys them for you. But what we have for you is either a protein kit, 42 servings of real proteins. We have a fruit and dessert kit, that's 88 servings of fruits and desserts. We have a vegetable and sauce kit, that's 128 servings of added veggies and sauces to add to your collection and to your kit today. And then a little bit later in the show, we're gonna talk about powdered eggs for all of you campers, for all of you that know that it's really your go-to standard bearer in dehydrated foods. It's all available for you today. You can put this all together. The additional kits are only $50. They are on sale. It's a wonderful addition. When we talk about, well, it's been paid for over and over and over again, I want you to understand something. You see a retail value on your screen of $274. That's our negotiated cost when we deal directly with Wise. If you were to go to the Wise Company website yourself, and thousands do every single year, they partner with the American Red Cross, they make big donations every year, it would cost you $400 to put together what we offer to you today. $400 to get 158 servings and to get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, to get milks, to get desserts, to get everything that you get today for literally 1/4 of that price. We had callers all day who said, I love this product. I gladly paid $200 through the Wise website. I will never do it again, though, because twice a year we do this here at HSN at the best value you can find absolutely anywhere. We ship you the big, giant 158 serving bucket that stays free of bugs and free of dust and free of dirt if you want to keep it in an attic, in a cellar, in a garage, or in a pantry. And what's inside is a 25-year guarantee of food. 30 days worth of servings for one person. A full family of 4 eats for a week on Wise for only $20 on your credit card.
That is a grab and go bucket. And I love that part of it because, you know, again, when you look back to 2017 and some of those situations, in a flooding situation, you have to leave your home, and floodwaters rise quickly. You often have to leave quickly. How amazing to be able to take food with you, because guess what? It's not negotiable. Your family is going to need it. Grab and go if a fire threatens. Grab and go for floods. This is why this is in this bucket. It is waterproof. It is bug proof. It is sturdy. You can drop it on the floor and it is fine. It is also very, very heavy, so I love our shipping deal because I wouldn't want to pay a lot of money to have this delivered.
What else you got for me? I'm hungry.
You still want to be eating? All right, let's move on to Southwest Rice and Beans, which is one of my favorites. And I'll tell you why, because it's got what it's supposed to have. It's a Southwestern meal. What do you expect? You expect a little kick, right? You expect a little pepper. You expect some corn, some beans. And what you see is what you get with these recipes. You can see, I just dumped that pouch in here. I've got the corn, I've got the beans. The aroma is instantaneous. The color is there, but it's not that fake, funky red color.
Yep.
It's the color you get from red pepper flakes and the things that are in the Southwest flavorings. You know, we've been talking on and on about how we are using a burner just to make it go a little more quickly, and also because warm food tastes better. All right, Brett, here you go. This baby's room temperature right here.
Okay.
This is not warmed. This is Southwest rice and beans in an emergency. If you made that with tepid tap water, you would get this consistency, you would get this color, and would you be fine eating it?
I'm gonna survive for days on this. I mean, I'm sorry, Mom. I know I'm talking with my mouth full, but there's a lot about food today. Again, I just go to, there is no chalky consistency. There is no powdery texture here. This is not the weird space food that we all tried 20 years ago. It's real ingredients. It's real recipes, it's real food. And that's what's gonna matter to you. If we can bring a comfort to you as well as something you need to survive, we're thrilled to be able to do it. To do it at a deal like this today, my goodness, why not just take one scare off the list of concerns?
Well, and exactly, because the list of concerns gets very, very long, no matter what is happening in your world. You know, you're gonna have kids that are out of their routines. You may be cold if it's winter and you're dealing with power outages. We all learned during the hurricane that, and this was my first, before you can, you know, even weather the storm, all that prep, all these things to worry about, where are your documents, blah, blah, blah. Take this off the list. This is something you can take care of right now when hopefully everything is fine in your world. You know, it's insurance, virtually. We have homeowners insurance in case we do have things happen in our world. We have car insurance. I got to use mine last week because I got rear-ended. Real happy about that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Thank heavens I had insurance. We have medical insurance. Do you have food insurance?
You know, and at the end of the day, car insurance is not something that's going to fill up a tank of gas if in emergency you need it. With this, if you don't feel good, if you need to fill up the tank and you're sick, your spouse is sick, you don't have the time, you're going to go to a can of something that's filled with junk. These are at the ready for you. It does not just have to be power outage, hurricane, mudslide. Like I said before, this is a college kid's dream come true. I mean, who wants cup of noodles when you can have real ingredients, real textures and flavors, and for a fraction of the cost of cup of noodles?
Absolutely, and to think about the health benefits. And you know, again, not just college kids. You know, my grandma, literally 3 drops of rain, not to even mention the ice and snow that we get this time of year, not going out. So as a result, and I'm glad she didn't, but there was never enough food in the house because, you know, you don't want to go onto the roads. You just don't feel well enough to get to the grocery store. To have someone who does not get around easily insured to have enough food in their home, I love that. And with 158 servings, you can get it. You can make yourself a preparedness kit because that's what we want you to do. And if your family's a little smaller, you can help grandma. You can help a neighbor. You know, one thing we learned during 2017 was how great communities did when they came together. Lots of times people evacuate to someone else's house. Well, they shouldn't have to feed you. You don't want to be a burden. You take this, you grab and go. And bring your food with you. You're so self-sufficient when you have this.
And you just think about the cans off the shelf, not to mention the poison that's in them, but they're big. They're heavy.
They spoil.
When you're loading up what's in the car, they take up a lot of space. And yes, they don't last 25 years, and they're more than $1 a can. We all know that.
Absolutely.
This truly, it's breakfast, it's lunch, it's dinner, it's comfort food, it's desserts, it's everything imaginable to make somebody happy in a moment when we're all scared, when we're all afraid. And then, you wouldn't take a can camping with you. Kids aren't gonna store cans in their dorm rooms. I mean, you think about just a practical alternative to have this set and at the ready for you. Look, at the end of the day, if 20 of these servings are in your emergency preparedness kit, and the rest is a better replacement to cans and to last-minute alternatives, then my goodness, you're saving money, you're eating healthier, you're giving your family real deal flavors, you're giving, you know, I host a show called Healthy You, and our show coming up this week is all about the concept of aging in place, being a senior citizen who can live comfortably in their own home and not be a burden to other people.
Okay.
Is that not exactly what this is? When
this
a senior
is wonderful
citizen
for that.
is ailing, when it is too cold for them to want to go get in their car, when they're having aches and pains and are uncomfortable and don't want to have to go push a grocery cart around, but they need sustenance, they need food, send this to one of them and just know you'll never be afraid that they're going hungry because of something that gets in the way. For less than $1 a serving, for a quarter of the price of what this sells for directly from Wise Foods. Remember, you get $400 worth of servings today for a $20 bill. We can delivery direct it anywhere you want. In the entire country, we will happily, at that low price cost, ship it anywhere you want. But it is one of only 2 days out of the entire year that we offer this sale price, and it's the best we've ever done. The most entrees, the most servings, the new cheesy lasagna, the new organic oatmeal. I mean, every reason to take it home. And we sold over 200,000 of these in just about 3.5 years, and not a single piece has been wasted. Because all these years later, it's still fresh.
25
it's still gourmet,
years.
It's still ready to be consumed.
It still tastes great,
Yep.
and it is something that you know you will always have. You know, we've touched briefly on recreational use for this. I love this for hunting. I love this for hiking. You were talking about cans. I remember being dragged on family hikes as a child. If I had to have cans in that backpack as that was happening, I'd have been even less cheerful about the whole process. You know, these are lightweight. They are easy to grab. All the different places that I keep these. You know, I also grew up in the Midwest. Winter weather, you know, cars sliding off the road and being stuck. That was just part of life in the Midwest.
Me
And
too.
I've seen that snow going across Minnesota today. Put this in the trunk of your car, because if you're gonna be stuck, if you're gonna be stranded, especially if there's kids in the car, you may need a little something to eat. You know, I know you carry water, I know you carry blankets. Those are basic safety things that we learn in winter climates. Do you have food in there? And wouldn't you rather actually have a great tasting meal stored everywhere? The backpack for the hiking, the car for the winter weather, than crackers and beef jerky.
And you know, by the way, just to be very clear about this, the bags last 25 years. You don't need the bucket. You don't.
Right.
So if you're going, but wait, Brett, Stephanie, you're talking about breaking it up a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. Don't need like 6 different buckets then? No. It's the bags themselves that have a 25-year guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, we just crossed 5,000 emergency food kits shipped today here at HSN. Thank you for your orders. We're so glad that you are feeling as empowered to take care of yourself, to take care of your family, to take care of your elderly parents living alone, to take care of the college dorm room kids out there with real quality food, without a storage headache, with real ingredients and flavors. We're gonna get a 10-minute clock up here in just a moment or two. Don't forget, we have additional kits available for you. If you wanna make sure that you've got proteins at the ready, turkeys, beefs, chickens, you can get an additional protein kit for only $50. You can get an additional fruit and dessert kit for you sweet toothers out there for an additional $50. You can get an additional vegetable and sauce kit. I mean, today, we put $50 back in your pocket off the regular HSN price. So we bought you extra kits should you so choose. 25-year shelf life. They go from 42 servings up to 128 servings. There's proteins, there's fruits and vegetables, and there's fruits and desserts, and there's vegetables and sauces to ask about while you're placing your order. If you know that you want to make sure there's meats for all the hungry men in your life, you can get protein set and they're ready for you. If you're somebody that wants to make sure you've got comfort food for the kiddos and you want fruits and desserts, those are all available for you as well, and they're only $50. We paid for them. And then there's also going to be coming up in just a couple of moments, I'm going to ask my producer to indulge me for a second to show you our graphics here. For those of you that go camping and hiking and biking and fishing, for those of you that know that the #1